Hey guys, it's Millibur here. If if you're not familiar with me, I'm a small 7 days creator. Been doing this for probably like a year and a half now. I started kind of doing on Legacy, PS4 version, Xbox One, and I've been doing the new version of console on 7 days with PS5. So uh, I saw Jawoodle first do a video about this, and then I saw a video from Spartan85, who's one of the biggest content creators for 7 Days to Die, and then I watched a video from just Rob, this this honestly, and I thought like, what the hell? We'll just throw some random gameplay in the background of Railway Empire 2, and I'll just kind of express my feelings, via audio recording over it. I don't have a face camera or anything like that, so first thing kind of gonna be going over and 2.0, and it's half-baked ideas. 7 days, like, they brought in these storms, storms in quotation marks, we'll say. These, all I really view them as, like, I played through them, it's like, all they really are is just basically damage over time with some fancy effects on your screen to, as if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you basically, it's just basically glorified damage over time. It's just, I really don't like this. It's really garbage, if I'm being honest here. It's like, we had this in Legacy version, and let me explain like Legacy version to some people who may not know it fully. So the Legacy version of 7 Days to Die, as it's referred to, it's it's a it is the PS4 Xbox One version of the game. It was we basically like it was published under Telltale, and then like Telltale basically, we got a couple like small updates, and then we got Telltale went under, and basically the rights to 7 Days to Die on console were in limbo, and the Fun Pimps had to fight for them and buy the buy the rights back, and then they dropped 1.0 for us, like which the, if I remember correctly, 7 Days to Die Legacy version was like 25 to $30 if I remember right. It was and then basically like we had to, those of us who wanted console version, we had to spend, they basically made us pay again for it, and they upcharged us with like 40, made it like $45, and like those of us who were Legacy version, like we got like a small discount on it. I bought it because like I make content on the game, so I'd say that's reasonable. But the it was, but Legacy version is the it actually had weather system. Like the Legacy version is kind of an amalgamation, I want to say, of Alpha 14, Alpha 15, and Alpha 16. Like I've watched a lot of YouTube over years of 7 Days because like it just fascinated me as this. It's like it's just such a fascinating game at the time, and it was but we actually had like proper weather. Like your character would actually kind of react to like various temperatures, like cold or warm weather. We actually had this, and it's like, it was nice, and even had weather, well, wetness, not weather. But now it's just like the storms are just like, why? And like, not to mention 7 Days, like like the Fun Pimps literally kind of gutted the weather system by digging out the perk of well, they kind of gutted that system, but then they took out the only remaining kind of thing of it that we had left before 2.0, which was the well insulated perk, which would basically give us, help with the resisting heat or cold, but that was basically nullified by armor. And it's just kind of like, why did we do this? Why? And not to mention, like, with the new biome progression, it's like, that really sucks. It's just kind of like, it feels like we are like glorified Boy Scouts, if I'm being honest, like with the badge system. It's just like, and like Spartan was mentioning, like, as like, keep in mind, like, when I mentioned like Spartan or Jawoodle or, like, I'm not trying to regurgitate their information, I'm just kind of, like, using them for reference, and, to provide my point. It's like, he mentioned, like, what was I saying? He was talking about how, like, the game's gone from being a sandbox to, just kind of being a very much like, it's basically on rails now. It doesn't, you can't really do your open world, like, say if, you want to do, like, a winter-oriented playthrough, or desert, or even, like, what I did in the 1.0 with with Into the Wasteland. Literally go into the Wasteland on day one. It's like, and live there. I didn't get to, it's like, you can't do that anymore with the, biome progression. And, I know some people probably go, and I used to be of this standpoint too, like, you can just turn off the biome progression and the storms, like, turn it all off. It's like, here's a counter argument to that. What the hell is even the point of updating the game to 2.0 of, if I don't want to do that, It's kind of like, and it just feels very lackluster. The smoothies, it's like, what is this crap? And it's like, as far as video, he showed like a, something on like I don't know where exactly it's at. It was like a fun, like, kind of like official 7 Days to Die thing, but it's like, someone suggested, like, why not have, like, instead of smoothies, why not have, like, damaged personal protective equipment? Like, and then, like, the biome badges, instead of those, like, how about we have that big, like, permanent PvE? And, like, burn biome could be a gas mask. The desert could be, like, a poncho. Or, like, some other hot weather clothing. And then, like, winter could be, cold weather clothing, like the puffer jacket and, like, long pants. And then, like, the wasteland could be hazmat gear. And circling back around to Legacy version, it's like, the Legacy version and also, like, the versions that it's based on, they all had this. They had, like, proper clothing and all this with the 7 day, like, they had puffer coats, they had even hazmat gear, and, like, they had ponchos to keep you cool. And, the only thing is, like, the hazmat suit didn't do anything in the raid area, because, like, the only raid area was the out of bounds, and, which would basically just mean death. That's all it is. It's like, basically the hazmat suits were just a rare drop in the game that served really no purpose other than make you warm. And, it's just kind of one of those, like, why can't we bring this stuff back? And then, like, bring back the old weather system. What was wrong with it? I feel like it was perfectly fine and all that. And it just feels like the meme of PewDiePie, like, where he goes, like, it feels like, he says, it's progressing, just backwards. That's what it feels like with this update. Like, we didn't really provide much here. And enough about 2.0 though. Moving on to, like, kind of like 1.0 and launch, console version, like, it's like, that really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it's like, I initially was okay with, like, purchasing it again, but it's like, looking back on it now, it's just kind of like, you really upcharged us after and made us pay again on console. And, like Spartan said in his video, like, he said, like, PC just got to update it to 1.0 for free. It's like, and, and then, like, with 2.0, they introduced the DLCs. It's like, for these, it's like, it's just kind of like, he made a good point about, like,
you really couldn't have thrown console players a bone, and like by giving us the cosmetic DLC for free. It's like that's all the DLC is. It's just cosmetics for you to wear over your armor. It's like they don't do anything, and it's like, and they charge you like $8 for it. It just feels like a slap in the face, especially to those of us console players who played the legacy version, and then we paid again for it, and then you expect us to pay for DLC. It's just kind of like, I get it, game development takes money, but time and money, I get it, but this is just not the move, and like, not to mention 70s just feels really unfinished. There's a lot of stuff like that that's lacking. Like I already mentioned the weather system, we're not going to go over that again, but just like the, like going over like the guns and weapons, it's like, granted, we got like more variety of weapons, like since like the legacy days, like the guns, like I'll mention kind of mostly, but it's like the guns in particular. We got on legacy we had the blunderbuss, which no longer exists in the game on the modern console version and PC. We had the 44 Magnum revolver, the SMG, the pump shotgun in both long and sawed-off barrels. We got the 9mm pistol, the sniper rifle, although it's not the same. The sniper rifle on Legacy version evolved into the marksman rifle on PC, and then it just got cut out of the game, and it got replaced by a different model entirely. Like we have Aladdin, like we have the AK-47. Then it's like we with 1.0 we got like this is coming from my experience. Like I didn't get to experience Alpha 21 and all this. It's like then we got the it was nice to see the tactical assault rifle, the Desert Vulture, the M60, the new sniper rifle, and then like the other stuff like the lever action, like all that. But it's like the and like the sawed-off double barrel shotgun. The it's like it's all fine and dandy, but it's like I have like over 500 hours, probably coming up on 600 hours of 7 Days to Die experience, like on the new version. It's like the game just needs more. It needs more weapons. It's like it's just like this is stale. It's like and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. And it's like, not to mention like okay, like the vehicles coming from Legacy, we only had the mini bike. Like that was that way for the longest time on PC. Then they brought out now we have the bicycle, the mini bike, the 4x4, the motorcycle, and the gyrocopter. And it's like, yeah, it's nice to have that vehicle variety, but just kind of like where it would be nice to have a few more vehicles in the game here. Like it just kind of like, to me, it feels like the progression is just stale with the vehicles. Like it's just kind of like, you're telling me like we really couldn't have we really can't restore like some of the like a couple of the old vehicles that we see sitting on the streets rotting away. It's like why didn't you let us take an engine, some wheels, and a battery, and and maybe a couple other parts, like and throw it, and like be able to restore them and drive them. Like if we don't want to use something like the motorcycle or the 4x4, like or the gyrocopter, like just give us some, it'd be nice to have some variety. And I'll kind of address that a little bit more after, a little bit later in the video as well. And then it's like the zombies. Now, keep in mind when I say this, I appreciate, I do appreciate the kind of the zombie variations with the different colors and everything, but there's still zombies that lack that color variation, like where it's just kind of like there's the blonde-haired zombie with the cargo shorts and I think and the shirt, like
I call him Mikey, but it's like I've heard him be called Harry, or like other names. If you know who I'm talking about, it's just like he only has one color variation. The cops only have like one color variation of clothing. It's just like it'd be nice to have some more zombie variety in the game, Fun Pimps. What about like I remember them like making a post or something about that, like on there's like they retired it was the cowboy zombie, the cheerleader zombie, the football zombie, and the farmer zombie, and like because they said like, oh, these guys are too outdated and everything like that, we have to delete them from the game, da 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 da, blah blah blah, yet like here's a counter argument to this. Take a look at like Mo, Arlene, the nurse, Marlene, and like all these zombies like that are in the base game, like they've been around for years. It's like the zombie, and they're even like you can even see the old versions on like the legacy version, and like if you're on PC, you can access the old alphas. Console does not have that, aside from the if you have a copy of the legacy version. It's like we have this. And it's just like, but you're telling, and like, take a look at the Disturbed Tourist. The fat guy with the Hawaiian shirt on. He was cut from the game for a while, like for years, until people requested from the Fun Pimps, like hey, like they basically brought him back by popular demand. He was and he's been updated to have like the dismember and everything. It's just kind of like, you're telling me you updated all these zombies over the years to become their you updated their textures and everything, but you can't do this for these zombies. And not to mention, like, there's several other zombies I could think of, like for that you could add, like, to increase zombie variety. Like how about like chef zombies? How about like male doctor zombies? Like like add like kind of like more variations to them. And like how about firefighter zombies? And like maybe have like a girl version of the cop zombie and all this, like kind of like mix it up to where we're not just kind of seeing the same zombies over and over and over again. It's like kind of like add more, kind of like cover the occupations, everything like this. It's like make it to where it's, because it just kind of feels like, in a sense, like, even though I have never watched any of the Star Wars series, it kind of just feels like we're playing like a zombified version of Clone Wars, in a sense. But and it's just frustrating. They've taken out so much from the game over the years, like jars and all this. It's like they basically nullified water because, like, oh, you can't jar your water. Yet, let's have the Dew Collector produce water into glass jars. Like, how the hell are we producing water into jars when you said jars don't exist? And then, oh, let's not forget, like, the red tea, and the goldenrod tea, and even the yucca juice smoothie, and it's like these all have jars when you hold them. It's like, how do we have, like, especially with the yucca juice smoothie, it's like literally all it takes is like blueberries, yucca juice, and snowballs. And you're telling me we're making this smoothie out of we're putting this into a jar that supposedly doesn't exist? It's like, make it make sense. You don't make sense, Fun Pimps. And it's like and then it's like, it's just, they're so ass backwards. It's just ridiculous. Now, circling around to the guns, it's like, kind of what I mentioned a few minutes ago. The guns, things like, like, I want to see some, see some new guns and also new melee weapons. I'm more than welcome to see new, like, melee weapons. And, like, speaking of melee weapons, like, what the hell is the deal with the so many club exclusive mods like barbed wire, chain wrap, metal spikes? It's kind of like you can't strap these on any of the other melee weapons in the game. The knives wouldn't really make that much sense, but like you're really telling me I can't like wrap some barbed wire around a spear or a sledgehammer, like wrap some chains around them or anything like that? You're really telling me this? It just doesn't make sense. But like, and I'll kind of do like a separate video, like kind of going more, like into more guns I want to see into the game. But it's just kind of like, how about like one thing I heard Jawoodle say like is like how about like a Tommy gun for the submachine guns? We only have the SMG 5, which is just based off an MP5. How about we have a 44 Magnum equivalent to the submachine gun, which is basically the Tommy gun, the Thompson submachine gun. Like chamber and 44 Magnum. I know it's not accurate to real life, but like kind of do something cool like that. Add something like that. Maybe add a couple more SMGs then, but it's like add in some. Maybe add in another revolver, like something that's really big caliber. Like add more calibers into the game. Like, maybe something ridiculous for a big caliber revolver, like screw it, like a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum, one of the largest production caliber revolvers in the world. It's like make it like a true hand cannon, and then add some more like add like 357 Magnum and all that. But for like other rifles, add in like maybe some British stuff and like like the L85, or add something like the AUG gun, like something at different tiers, like to help balance out the variety, and kind of make all these accessible on day one instead of the scripted. Oh, you can only find a pipe weapon on day one. Like add it into this like make it to where it's possible, even if it's a crappy AUG, like a crappy like tacky assault rifle. Make it to where we can at least have, even if it's a small chance, make it to where it's like something to excite us with. Like instead of this being a railroaded thing. Now moving on to vehicles, it's like a couple vehicles I'd like to see for some variety in the game. Give us a little bit of shake it up a little bit. I've heard like Jawoodle say like throw in a dirt bike, specifically for off-roading. Another thing I'd like to see would be kind of like a muscle car or a couple muscle cars, like where they're kind of like the 4x4 where they have a ton of trunk space and all that. And like hell, maybe add in like delivery trucks, like where we can just where they have even bigger cargo space for this. Like I'll kind of go into vehicles I'd like to see in another kind of separate video, like because I feel like they kind of deserve their own dedicated videos. But it's just like, and like there's been, and I kind of want to move on to like they've make us fear the zombies again. You've taken so much away from us. Like make it to where it's like, make it like Alpha 16 again. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm just rambling here, but it's just like it would be nice. It would be wonderful to see this and like make it to where we fear the zombies and have to deal with the weather instead of this this role-playing game experience that used to be a survival sandbox. Like kind of like let us kind of roam the zombie apocalypse as we feel. Let us be able to have our own adventure. Learn by doing. Please bring it back. Like people have made it clear, like the magazine system is just really not it, and just don't make it like legacy version. Where you just spam craft. Make it to where it makes sense. Like where if I use a stone axe and anything like that, I eventually learned how to make an iron fire axe and then eventually a steel fire axe. Like and just make it kind of I feel like if you bring it back to like Alpha 16 as a base, it would just be great building blocks. And like if you just kind of build upon it, you would kind of get back into the good graces of the community. I want to quickly address mods. Like, people say like, people kind of mostly prefer to play mods over the vanilla version now on PC. I would be greatly appreciative if you guys managed to put in a mod launcher for us, like on console. Basically, like, and if you have to limit us on storage, make it like 10, 15, or 20 gigs, like, in case of console limitations, like, make it to where we can at least experience the big, wonderful overhauls like Undead Legacy, Darkness Falls, Escape from Tarkov mod, like, all of this, and be able to add new weapons if we want to. It's like, like, add even more to it. I feel like it would basically be the next Fallout 4 that. Now, I want to talk about the devs here in the last minute or so of this video. To be honest, the Fun Pimps, you need to learn to be more cooperative with the community. After years of watching content on the game, it's like, you basically have this they have this stigma of like, like, it's either my way or the highway. If you don't like it, then it's not for you. It's just kind of like, it's like, I get it, they have a vision, but you need to stop fighting against us. Work with us, and it's like, hell, like, hire some of the modders if they want to join the team, and because they can make the game, nice and wonderful, and like, because they are truly talented and everything like that. Just please try to work with us and like try to make 7 Days great again. It takes a village, as Just Rob said. And anyways, guys, I'm going to call this video here. If you made this far and at any point, feel free to leave a comment. Just subscribe if you want, like the video so it gets promoted in the algorithm. I appreciate you so much if you watch this video. I hope you have a great day, and you take care now.